is my show. Hi, my name's Andy Bowles, and I make the videos I want to. And this video is about how Animal Planet found Bigfoot. Or so they say. I gotta admit, I'm a little skeptical about Animal Planet finding Bigfoot, not about Bigfoot actually existing. I, myself, personally believe that it could actually exist. I mean, there's so many eyewitness accounts. There's so many ways that it could actually live, you know. I mean, it makes sense to me that Bigfoot could actually be out there in the wilderness surviving. And that it doesn't want to be found because that's what its instincts are. Or that it's actually, you know, maybe even smarter than us. I have no idea. But I believe that there is a possibility that that thing exists. Now, Animal Planet, whew, I'm a little skeptical. Only because, I'm going to say this, is because every time these guys go out in the field, it's comical. I mean, I've only watched a few episodes, but the one I did watch was the guy was running after a Sasquatch, and he's like running, man, and he's like, I'm going to get him, man. I'm chasing down the Squatch, man. I'm chasing down the Squatch. And the other guy's like, what are you doing, man? What are you freaking doing? Man, you can't chase down a Squatch. Don't tell me what to do, man. Don't you freaking tell me what to do. I can know how to chase down a Squatch. Man, get a grip on yourself, man. There's no way you can chase down a Squatch. Don't tell me what to do, man. I've been doing this for 20 years, man. I know how to chase down a Squatch. And you're sitting there like, is this really real? And it's like comical, man, because they go to an area and there might be like a neighborhood over there with like kids riding their bicycles. And they're like, man, this is prime Squatch territory. Man, a Squatch could really like live out here, man. And you're just like, wow, these guys, you know? And it's like a twig will break and they'll be like, was that a Squatch? Sounds like a Squatch to me. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, but it's to a point where you're like, you know, you gotta have a little less imagination, I say, sometimes. Now, there was a good show that came out, Bigfoot, the Definitive Guide, and they had like 5 scientists who were like all experts in their field, and they all sat around and they put forth ideas, and it was just excellent. I mean, they talk about how after the Peterson film, there's a spike in Bigfoot activity, like sightings and everything, you know, and before it, there wasn't as many sightings, but there still were. And the sightings before the Peterson film were actually more creditable and more interesting because, you know, not everybody knew about Bigfoot. It wasn't popular. So you hear these people describing something that they don't really know how to describe it. And then they talk about the Native Americans and how they describe Bigfoot. And man, to them, it's just another creature of the land, you know. Now, I don't know why with modern day science, we have to absolutely have 100% concrete proof before we acknowledge that something exists. I mean, there are a lot of footprints and a lot of sightings and a lot of eyewitness, you know, testimony that they saw a Bigfoot. Now, I know a lot of them are fake and people are making the stuff up, right? But there is that percentage that are real, I'm sure. You know, I mean, it has to. I mean, they're seeing something. And I personally have been to Alaska. I've been in the Pacific Northwest, and I can totally just picture a primate type creature living off the land. I mean, it's just, I can just see it. And if it's as smart as it has to be to avoid all contact with human beings, I mean, because obviously it does not want to be around us. I mean, we are the one thing that it does not want to be around. And I mean, it goes to show you got a team of 4 people that are paid by a major TV company to go out and find this thing. I mean, they're like at any expense traveling the world searching for, you know, this creature, you know. And then they say they found it in Australia, and it's called a Yowie in Australia, and it's basically like a little Bigfoot, pretty much the same thing, you know. And same as here in the States, the Yowie does not have any concrete evidence. It's still a cryptozoology creature. But Animal Planet says they got audio that proves that Bigfoot exists. Now, as Animal Planet's discovery comes, scientists at Oxford University and Lausanne's Museum of Zoology have been preparing for new types of DNA testing, which would allow them to prove whether the Yetis, Sasquatches, and Bigfoots and Yowies exist. So they've been asking different people and museum curators and tracking groups and all that to provide them with samples, things like blood and hair and stuff they chewed on, or, you know, things they can test. So maybe shortly there might be proof that Bigfoot actually exists, and maybe Animal Planet has just found it. And it would be great if they did, I say, because they're a comical, group, and it's fun to watch. I mean, I think that if I was in a Bigfoot group, I would probably be more serious. But then again, I mean, they are serious. They're just kind of goofy. You know what I mean? It's just it's fun. I don't know. It's cool. I hope they find it. Maybe they already have. Who knows? All right. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.